Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Everybody will stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes from the meeting held on June 3rd, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve said minutes?
Motion.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Anything? Apparently not. Okay, so the next the next 5 motions, we're going to rule on them. I will state what they are. We can vote on them individually, and then at the end, or actually prior to voting, should I have her discuss it? Yeah, okay. So 21-4018, 4019, 4020, 4021, and 4022, which I will read, are all COVID related. The first, 4018, is a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Dunmore 1-1 from Our Lady of Peace residence located at 1510 University Avenue in Dunmore to Dunmore Community Center located at 1414 Monroe Avenue in Dunmore. Should I? Okay, so I'm going to move to make that change. Can I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4019 is a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Fell Township-4 from garage located at 504 Main Street in Richmondale to Fell Township Municipal Building-1 Veterans Road in Simpson. Do I have a second to?
Second.
Okay. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4020 is a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Scranton 5-1 from Jackson Heights Rec Room located at 1001 Jackson Street in Scranton to Westside Senior Center located at 1004 Jackson Street in Scranton. Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4021 is a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Scranton 7-1 from the Boys and Girls Club, which is located at 609 Ash Street in Scranton, to the Scranton Cultural Center, located at 420 North Washington Avenue in Scranton. Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4022, I'm going to make a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Scranton 16-1 from Washington West Apartments located at 537 North Washington Avenue in Scranton to Scranton Cultural Center located at 420 North Washington Avenue in Scranton. Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye. Beth, will you discuss those 5 motions and the relocations?
Certainly. All of those relocations that you just mentioned and voted on are all COVID-related, so the locations that the polling places are usually at, they had asked that we could relocate them temporarily because of COVID. And we can use them in the future, but not for this election.
Okay. The next 3 are changes, which Beth will speak to, but they're due to some type of construction in the old Ford Municipal Building, so I'm going to take us through those 3. 4023 is a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Old Forge-3 from the Old Forge Borough Senior Center upstairs, located at 310 South Main Street in Old Forge, to Eagle McClure Hose Company number 1, located at 375 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge. Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4024 is a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Old Forge 6-1 from the Old Forge Borough Building located at 310 South Main Street in Old Forge to Eagle McClure Hose Company number 1, located at 374 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge.
It's 375.
It's a typo.
Okay,
They're
so
all
we're,
typos.
we're,
375.
okay, so we're moving that, I'm sorry, so we're moving it just for purposes of clarity. So for 4024 from Old Forge Borough Building, 310 South Main Street, to Eagle McClure Hose Company, number 1, located at 375 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge. Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 21-4025 is a motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Old Forge 6-2 from the Old Forge Borough Building, again located at 310 South Main Street in Old Forge, to the Eagle McClure Hose Company No. 1, located at 375 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge. Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Beth, would you like to discuss those?
Certainly, those moves are temporary. Again, the Old Forge Borough Building is still under construction as it was in the primary. Going forward, we will be able to use it again, just not for this election.
Okay. Motion 21-4026. I'm going to make a motion to assign poll workers to work the November 2nd, 2021 general election outside of their voting district. Would you like to speak to that?
Certainly. We use a lot of poll workers across Lackawanna County, over 800 of them. And due to a lack of staffing in some of the different districts, we have to ask people that are willing to work election day to work outside of their voting district where they're registered to vote. So the board always votes on assigning those people that they can work outside of their voting district.
Okay. Jerry, you seconded? Yes. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
21-4027. 21-4027. I'm going to make a motion to increase the poll worker rates for the November 2nd, 2021 general election. The judges of election will be from $170 to $270. The majority and minority inspectors from $125 to $225. Clerks from $125 to $225. And constables from $125 to $225. Now, Beth, that's for the day, right?
It is for the day, and we're considering it like a COVID hazard pay. We did it for the last election also. A lot of the poll workers have expressed concern that they are still concerned working that day due to the pandemic. So it had been agreed upon that we would give them a raise for this election.
Okay, it's to incentivize them.
Correct.
Do I have a second to that motion?
Second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye. Aye, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. Opportunity for the public to address the board. There's no one here. Members, other business?
I have something.
Sure.
I just want to read this into the record. And it's going to go back to the drop boxes. Over a year ago, I publicly stated I was against the drop boxes. And with the recent release of some video from the right to know request, I've demonstrated that there is definitely potential room for fraud. And I want to be clear, it's illegal to be in possession of another person's ballot and deliver it to the Election Bureau unless a request for assistance filed by the voter exists. Number two, it does affect the integrity of the election when a third party are in possession of another ballot because it's violation of the law. Number three, ballots delivered by a third party are to be set aside and not be counted pursuant to the PA guidance concerning civilian, absentee, and mail-in ballot procedures, and that's dated September 28, 2020, paragraph 4.1. So, since the county government is open to the public, voters have the option to hand deliver their ballot to our election bureau on the second floor. They can mail them, and that's why I'd like to make a motion that the drop boxes be removed immediately.
Is there a second to Chris's motion? Motion fails.
Well, since my motion is not going through, maybe to safeguard these, we could do a few things. A copy of the previous day's video surveillance footage for each Dropbox be available on the county website. Maybe even possibly reduce it to one box in our county building next to where the sheriffs stand instead of out in the lobby. Copies of the ballot return site collection forms for each box be made available at a minimum to the Board of Election members. Provide a list of all the items retrieved from each Dropbox that are not ballots, along with a photo of each of them and a description of the disposition of the same. And all video surveillance maintained in a secure location for a period of 2 years, along with our voter information, which we do have to keep for 2 years. So that would be my request.
So could I just ask, the video online we wouldn't be able to do because we have to, you'd have to take the time to shield people's identity, correct?
We have to do some redactions relative to identities, that's correct.
Okay, and then the one box by the, these are just my thoughts, and then you guys can address it the way, the one box just by the sheriff's, number one, the government center isn't convenient to everybody. And then secondly, it's in close proximity to the sheriff's, but if the sheriffs are doing something with people coming in, if we have an influx, I mean, that's not fail-proof either.
Well, it's not.
The video for 2 years, is that law?
No, I was asking because it's law to keep voting records for 2 years, and as far as I'm concerned, the video surveillance is voting record.
Okay, so our lawyers will look into that. And the log sheets, I believe we do already, right?
We have copies of all the log sheets.
On the log sheets, do you write what you pulled out, even if it's something that,
We started doing that this cycle, yeah. So if somebody had returned, like, something for tax claim was in there, someone had put in their applications for mail-in ballots, we have been noting that on the date, what we've picked up out of the box from that date.
and when somebody authorizes somebody, like applies for authorization to allow somebody else to do it, is that listed on the ballot?
It's a form that they can contact us to get the authorization form.
Oh, and you'll note that
The
as-
voter fills it out, correct. The voter fills it out, and the person that they have deemed their designated agent to return the ballot fills it out and signs it.
Okay. Anything else?
The only thing I think I wanted to add, in addition to, and it builds off the discussion and some of the questions that were raised yesterday relative to the integrity of the ballot boxes. In speaking with, for example, Jerry Carey yesterday after the meeting, we were advised, although all 6 of our boxes have video cameras on them, and they are, and that footage can be viewed, a number of those are actually monitored. So, for example, in Clark Summit, that is monitored 24 hours a day because that feed goes directly into Clark Summit Police Department. So that's a 24-hour department. So as they're there, they're viewing that camera along with other cameras around their borough properties. The same, I believe, occurs also in Carbondale because the feed, they're another 24-hour department. The feed goes into the police department. I'm not representing that occurs in each of the other areas, but I know at least in those 2 areas it does. I'm going to reach out to the others as well. Some of them I don't believe are 24-hour departments, so they wouldn't have 24-hour monitoring.
Right.
But I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention because that's an additional, I think, layer of protection above and beyond what the law prescribes and requires.
Well, and I don't disagree with you. The one concern I had with Clark Summit was that most of the, as far as I know, the other municipalities that have our drop boxes are, I thought, were locked, like the lobbies were locked at business hours, 5 o'clock, whatever time. Clark Summit is not. It's open 24. You can just walk in there. So, I don't know.
Some of them are locked. Like I know music. They
I thought they were all supposed to be. That was-
I know Carbondale, I can speak because I'm the solicitor there. Come 4:30, our main doors are locked,
locked.
so, or 5 o'clock, whatever the time is. So I know, although they can get into the police department, our drop box is in the main foyer of City Hall. So I know in that instance, they're precluded after working hours from getting in there.
Well, in Clark Summit, if they come, it's still 24-hour police.
It's 24-hour police, and so the door, if everyone knows where the drop box was yesterday, that's a door that I believe the public can enter 24 hours a day. I think that's to Commissioner Shermack's point.
They are, and I'm from Clark Summit, so usually at night we have one officer on duty, and usually he's out on the road, so he can't. There's no way he can be on the road and watching the video at the same time. So.
And let me say this, Commissioner, my understanding in talking with Jerry yesterday, Jerry Carey, Mayor Carey, was that there is someone at the desk there, and that is monitored. That's at least my understanding from my discussion with her.
Okay, anything else? Take a motion
Yeah.
for adjournment
Motion second.
on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.